minutes, we'll get started. Good morning, everybody, and huge congratulations on finishing your programme with us. You're our very first cohort, so it's a really special time for all of us to celebrate this morning. I'm just going to quickly run through the agenda for today, and I'm going to hand across to Ruth, who's very kindly joined us this morning to wish you well. So thank you so much, Ruth, for being able to fit us into your schedule. Welcome from myself and Dave. So I'll hand across to Dave shortly to say a few words, and then we'll hand across to Ruth, who's thankfully with us for 5 minutes this morning. Sue and Liz are going to share their reflections on the programme. They've got some few insights and encouragement from Liz and Sue. Then we're going to go into breakout groups to reflect on the learning so far. I want you to come back and really think about what you're going to take away, those main key takeaways from the programme, so we can share that far and wide. But then we have some feedback. Then very exciting, we're going to do your roll of honour, so your graduation, so lots of cheers and celebration. And then I'm going to talk to you about welcoming you to Team Florence and the F&F family and the benefits that brings. And then we'll close at 11:30. So great news. So that's the agenda today. So I'm going to hand across to Dave, so if he wanted to, he's the lead for the programme from NHS England, to talk about his reflections. So if you're happy to share the screen right, that would be great.
Well done. Thank you all for the work that you've put in to get to this point so far. My name's Dave Cunningham. I've seen most of you before, but those of you who haven't, so I'm one of the clinical leads within NHS England's IPC team. So I work and look at the leadership and workforce side of IPC. So it's great to see so many of you on the call today. It's good to see those with the cameras on. Well done for completing the programme. We know how challenging it's been with everything else that's been going on with IPC in the world and the pressures and added pressures there. So it's great to see so many of you have been able to work through it and complete it in quick time as well. So well done there. And it'll be good. This is the initial programme that we brought in, and it'll be really good to get the feedback from you around how this is done. We know we've got feedback from you already around what you've found in the course, what you felt and how it's worked, and what will be good is to see how this impacts your practice going forward, because this is the first step in how we develop and build that resilient IPC workforce for the future, and the information that you're giving in there will be really good to set the scene for what we do going forward and how we can build on that. The programme's been there to focus on the fundamentals of IPC, but then build into the leadership and how that will help going forward. So we really hope that you've enjoyed it and got what we've hoped you would out of it. So it'll be good to see how that comes across and how you feed into that. So I'll stop there. So thank you all. Well done. And I'll hand back to Lucy to go over to Ruth.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks so much. I've really enjoyed the last feedback session we had, and I just wanted to share some insights that I did share with our board actually at our last board meeting. And I hope you don't mind, I'm going to embarrass a couple of you on the call, but perhaps I won't say your names. But I think what's really wonderful I wanted to share is, since completing the course, I now feel really confident to challenge, and it's really helped my audit compliance across our care home. It's also given me the confidence to nudge my team to really encourage good behaviours. Wow. And just another one that really did, RADA was so useful. I've learned how to communicate more effectively, both personally and professionally. It really has transferred, these skills have transferred across all areas of my life. And then finally, I think this is wonderful. And Natalie, I hope you don't mind me calling you out here, but you were so insightful on the feedback session. It's given me the confidence to learn about myself and know what I think is really important. It's given me that confidence to speak up in meetings and in front of large groups of people when I wouldn't have done so before. So how wonderful. That's verbatim comments from all of you. So thank you so much. So with that in mind, I'm going to hand across to Ruth, because I know we haven't got you for too long this morning, Ruth. Over to you. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. And hello. My name is Ruth, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for England. And congratulations. Fantastic. Well done. It's brilliant to hear some of those comments, and it's such a privilege and honour of mine to join you this morning. I'm delighted with this programme, and thank you to Dave and to Lucy for really driving this forward. I'm hoping that as a result of your feedback and with increased learning that we will do from it, that we will go on to do this again and again. we launched something similar for safe staffing for nurses and midwives back pre-pandemic, back in 2019. And I said to Anne Casey and Dame Hilary Chapman then, I want to do 70. And they thought I was bonkers. They did 12 in the first couple of weeks and the next course. Anyway, we're through to 90 now for Safe Staff and Fellows. Again, very much linked with Florence Nightingale and very much linked with the academic achievement. And I'm hoping that this will go on to be something that lots more healthcare support workers will want to be interested, trained, and develop their skills in infection prevention and control. Infection prevention control has been key to the care of healthcare, key for care of patients, families, staff. Pre-pandemic, we did MRSA, C. difficile, gram-negative, but during this pandemic, we have relied so heavily on IPC practice. And that is not just the microbiologists, that's not just the specialist nurses. They have been brilliant, but this is a team sport. IPC is key to delivery of safe care and protection of each other. And that's why it needs a team sport. You are part of the IPC team, a very valued part of the IPC team. And I want to say thank you, congratulations. And I do hope you will encourage us to get this course better for the next time we do it, but also encourage other colleagues to do it too, across all of the sectors. Great to hear there was a colleague that has joined from a care home. I'm hoping there's people from a mental health trust, as well as acute, as well as in the community. But you'll also join today a Florence Nightingale scholar. I am a Florence Nightingale scholar, and I am very privileged to be one. I don't think I would be in the Chief Nursing Officer position in England if I hadn't been a Florence Nightingale scholar. So treasure the scholarship with the Florence Nightingale. It's a great network to be in. It will be there with you for the rest of your working career. But congratulations, enjoy your success today. And I'm very proud, and I appreciate and value all of you that have done this today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you. It means an awful lot that you could join us today. Lots of claps going. Thank you. Great stuff. So next on the agenda is we could share this. I might do a quick photo, Ruth, if that's okay. Is everyone happy if I do a photo for Twitter? Is that okay? It's always nice to. So if you're able to turn your cameras on, it'd be absolutely wonderful to see your smiling faces, if that's okay.
I would have put my lipstick on if I'd realised. Never mind. You can put a bit of lipstick in the picture.
So I don't know if I'm able to do. I'll try. I'm sure.
My old PA Hen used to give me. She used to wipe my teeth, put cream and blusher on my face. I miss her.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to take a nice photo of yours with big smiles before Ruth has to leave us. If that's good. Karen, I know you're typing at the moment. I'll just give. Oh, wait, 2 ticks. Brilliant. Thank you all. Lovely to see your smiling faces. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks, Ruth. Thanks for joining us. It means an awful lot. Thank you. Okay, back to the agenda today. I'm really excited to, if we just pop up the slides again, if that's okay. And we're going to hand across to Liz and Sue, who we're really privileged. So Sue, as we all know, Sue and Liz have been instrumental in putting this course together. It's been an absolute privilege to work with you both. I've really enjoyed every minute that we've worked together. And Sue and Liz are going to share some of their reflections and reflect on their careers, their leadership journey, and give you some insights and tips really from their experiences and expertise. So Liz and Sue, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Lucy. No pressure then following Ruth. I just want to echo Ruth's comments really and say a massive congratulations to you all. As an infection control nurse myself, working in IPC for, I'm not going to tell you how many years, but far too many, I know how much healthcare support workers contribute to safe care and how IPC teams have called upon you over the last 2 years in particular. We in the National IPC team, I work alongside Dave. My role is for education in IPC. And we've seen the role of the healthcare support worker growing, and how much we've needed you over the last few years, and identified the need to provide support and education to ensure that you have the knowledge, the skills and the ability to influence your colleagues through the development of this course. And I really hope you now feel more empowered to go out there and do something really special. And what a journey, what new skills you've developed. Hopefully a lot of you, and from the comments that Lucy has said that some of you have made, there's a lot of new yous out there. And I can empathise and reflect with that. I've just completed a RADA course for myself, and I feel so empowered and able to actually go out there and believe in myself a lot more. And I think a lot of what we do in IPC is about how we present ourselves, how we talk to our colleagues, and what we say and do. And it's about those behaviours, isn't it? You as an IPC healthcare support worker in whatever role and whatever speciality you're working in are in a unique position. You're right at the front line and able to influence care through your behaviours. So can I have the next slide? In fact, I've just realised the slide hasn't gone up. That was my first slide for you, talking about your personal growth, and hopefully you've made new friends through this and developed some of these skills through your own RADA sessions in terms of your voice and your presence. The next slide, please. So how are you going to do something with all what you've learned? What will you do? As an infection control nurse, I've seen some of the biggest changes come from healthcare support workers working in my team. People stopped wearing gloves for things that weren't required, or started to wear an apron. A healthcare worker said to me once, how can I stop her wearing an apron, wearing gloves, and how can I make her wear an apron when we go in to clean up a blood spill or change a bed? And she said, I've tried telling her that she's got to wear it. And I said, sometimes, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do and how you do it. Go into the room, grab your apron yourself, put it on, pass her one, and keep doing that. And one day she'll go in, pick the apron up and put it on herself. So it's about those behaviours. And during my RADA course, I was introduced to the word assertiveness, and I love that. It's a combination of empathy and assertiveness. It's using your skills to challenge gracefully and with kindness. And I think, we're in a caring profession. It's something that we should be able to do. Use the power of that breath. Grace under fire. When you're challenged about something, and you may say that, please could you change your gloves, or whatever it is you're doing, and somebody comes back to you aggressively or challenging, just take a deep breath. And if you don't know the answer, say, I'll come back to you on that. It's about standing there, grounding yourself, holding yourself in that space and believing in yourself. And there's a fantastic YouTube clip by a lady called Amy Cuddy. And I've put the link on the slide, and hopefully you can pick that up at some point. It's about your body language, and I hope that it will build on what you've learned through the RADA sessions that you've had as part of this course, and help you stand there, believe in yourself, because you can do anything if you believe in yourselves. We believe in you, we're proud of you, and massive congratulations from me. And I know that Liz has got a lot more sensible tips, but I'll stop there and hand over to Liz. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Well, good morning to everybody. It's wonderful to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the celebration event. I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about the journey that you've been on, hopefully, and going forward, and some of the many things to think about as each and every one of you are leaders. So my name's Liz, I'm an infection control nurse. I work in Leeds community, but I'm also currently a clinical fellow in the national IPC team and have been part of the development team bringing this training to you, particularly the fundamental basics to IPC. So thank you for being here today, because without you showing such dedication and such commitment to this course, it wouldn't have been possible. And it's so delightful to see the interest that we've had in the run up to the course and for future cohorts, which is just amazing. But never forget just how brilliant each and every one of you are and what you've achieved over the last few months. So take away just how brilliant you are. Next slide, please. Because let's face it, the last 28 months or so have been pretty tough. The world, to some degree, came to a standstill for many people. But for us in healthcare, it didn't. And in fact, that roller coaster journey was just beginning. And for many of us, we're still on this undulating ride of a roller coaster. And I love this slide. This is the one on the right is, I think it's Heathrow Airport. I can't remember which one I chose. It was Heathrow or Gatwick. And you can see the many planes there that just came to a standstill and kind of almost, for me, represented in some degree the world around us. But the speed of in which we started to run at in the NHS just became formidable. Next slide, please. So for many of us, whether we were novices or experts, actually, we might have looked like a swan kind of smoothly swimming around a lake. But actually, underneath the water, though our legs were probably going like billy-ho. And for all of us, whether we were in a care home setting, whether we were in an ambulance service, whether we're in an acute setting, a GP practice, a community provider going out to neighbourhoods to see patients in their own homes, this is when it started to get incredibly hard. But actually, what you've gone through over the last couple of months has been a real dedication to your development and actually thinking about the hard work that you will have put in over the last few years, but have more so done over these last couple of months. When you think about probably the sacrifices that you might have made, the extra hours that you might have put in when you've got home from work and have had to dedicate towards going through this journey of leadership, which is no doubt given you so much more to work with going forward. But no doubt, as many of us, we've still had maybe some criticisms along the way, and no doubt we'll continue to have those. But if you could just go on to the next slide for me, please. Thank you. But actually, having the reality that whether it be IPC or ourselves, we are all that ongoing development. So no matter what stage we are at, just like this basilica in Barcelona, La Sagrada Familia, where the construction actually started in 1882 and has started and stopped, but it's still ongoing. There's still cranes on top of that building that are still doing the development work. And actually, this is just like whether it be you or I or the evidence base that we're working with, it's still an ongoing development. And by you completing this course, it will have empowered you to relook at your role and will no doubt influence you in your journey going forward, which is just so exciting and so wonderful to see. And I remember when we connected on some of the evening sessions, it was just so fantastic to hear the gratitude and how people were really starting to enjoy and to develop into their own journey and flourish beautifully in their leadership role. So I'm just so excited, and it's so wonderful to see so many of you have developed through this course. Next slide, please. But remember, great leadership is not defined by status. It's not defined by power, and it's not defined by titles. We're all leaders, whether it's the cleaners that we have in our organisations, whether it's the administrators that book the patients in that we see, whether it's the kitchen staff that take meals to the patients that we care for, whether it's nurses, doctors, chief execs, absolutely every single one of us is an important leader in a patient's journey. And it's always important to remember some of the important leadership things I think that you've developed on this course. For me, it's about being humanistic. For me as a senior leader in an IPC team, it's about remembering that I'm just like the people around me. I started off as a junior IPC nurse in 2007, coming in as an absolute novice. And actually, I never forget those roots that I came from. Always have that toolbox, remember that authenticity. Really remember to listen to the people around you. Connect perhaps with a coach or a mentor, and always remember the values of what drives you each and every day. And also remember, it's always okay to say no on this journey that you're on. And some of the top tips, if I can just move you on to the next slide, please. Thank you. As again, be authentic, be true to yourself and be a role model. Think about keeping a journal. We spoke about this on some of the evening sessions. Think about what you've remembered. Think about consolidating what you've learned so far on the course and share that good practice, but pay it forward. Open doors for others that perhaps you might encourage to continue and to think about going on this course, and shape and hold and mold others around you. I don't get any greater joy really from seeing people around me that we put forward for courses such as this, and to see the enjoyment in their faces when it gives them that empowerment that they can take forward for the rest of their career. But most importantly, enjoy the ride, because it could be a long ride for many of us. The roller coaster that we're still on, which is the gift of COVID, but no doubt many other potential communicable diseases that we might have to deal with as we go forward in the future. But always remember and believe in yourself, because you can do it. And the next slide, please, which is my last one, which is a quote from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. And never forget that. This might be one of the first courses you've done in many years, or it might be your first course as a healthcare support worker. And this could be your starting point. This could be something that influences you to go on to be a nurse advocate, or to go on to do another course as an allied health professional. But this could be your starting point. So always remember the power and how powerful education can be. And enjoy, and well done, absolutely enormous well done from all of us on the team that have put this together, because it's just wonderful to have you here, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Liz and Sue. Wow, inspiring words, absolutely inspiring words. Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll give you a round of applause. And it's been a privilege to work with you both, and so nice to see everyone graduating and getting the fruition of your hard work. So thank you so much. And we wanted just to share with you the Padlet, which you may recall we filled out at the beginning of the programme to talk about your hopes and what you're hoping to get from the programme. But just wanted to, and what your reflections are on the IPC module. We just wanted to share that with you, and then we're going to share the Padlet that we've hopefully just completed as well. Oh, thank you, Tracy. We've just got your contact details. So this is just the IPC feedback, just to let you know, fab course, loving it. Even my kids have watched, enjoying the few parts and found the useful information there, which I think is great. You enjoyed learning about the history and everything, and all sounds great. So I love the tour of the lab. So really wonderful feedback. So I guess we just wanted to inspire a little bit there. So we're going to go across to you all two as teams, and we had a bit of a reflective session as well as the facilitators and the team that kind of built the course in the background. So we're going to unshare for a moment, Rob, and we'll go back. The team, and we had a bit of reflection. I think I'm going to choose one of our group to share what we were discussing as well, if that's okay. Might choose one of us at random. So who would like to feedback from their group, who feels happy to share what they were talking about and their learnings and reflections?
I'm happy to feedback for our group.
Fantastic, Pamela, go for it. With a renewed RADA confidence.
Yeah, so we were talking about how it's given us the confidence to approach people and to start those difficult conversations, and you know, the courage to kind of address things that aren't necessarily quite right, and being able to give, or being given the tools to do that in an effective manner without being kind of too in your face, or you know, doing it in a nice, gentle way, but obviously being firm when it's needed.
We feel more confident as a result to do that. Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
What elements of the programme helped you? Was it throughout? Or was there any elements in particular that kind of shone out that was a bit of a turning point?
I think for me, it's I work in general practice, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the doctors here are lovely and very approachable, but they don't always follow the IPC rules. You know, there's paperwork all over their desks and things like that, and the doctors are lovely, but you do feel that there's a little bit of a hierarchy. You know, or they are a doctor, they are busy, but it's given me the confidence to actually start those conversations, and you know, just sort of say, you know, this is something we should be doing, and you know, if if we had an inspection, you know, it would make it more difficult for us because we'd have to go in and clean your room and make sure everything was, you know, tidy. And actually, it should be tidy anyway. And kind of also addressing the fact that their rooms aren't being cleaned between patients quite as thoroughly as they should be because they're unable to do that because there's so much clutter. So yeah, definitely, that's my point of view.
It's wonderful to hear. Absolutely, and there's some lovely comments in the chat as well. Really good to hear. I'll start small from Liz, from Sue. Sorry, start small, Pamela. Little acorns, certainly grow magnificent oak trees. That's for sure. Brilliant. Thank you, Pamela. Who else would like to feedback? Who's feeling bold? Is that Nadine? Nadine, you happy to feedback? Oh no. Okay. From the next group, who's happy to feedback from the group and just a summary of what was discussed and what you've learned, your reflections? Anyone feeling bold?
Wonderful message from Victoria in the chat. Sorry she has to go, but she's grateful for all the support and guidance to move forward and grateful for the opportunity of meeting everyone.
Thanks. Right. So who else in the group would like to? We can share our reflections. Who shall I? Oh, Nicola, are you happy to share your thoughts? Just with a camera pop on and your reflections.
I can do.
Right.
So yeah, we were just talking about how, you know, we've all grown really as practitioners, I suppose, but also some of the ideas that people have got. You know, it was just suggested that maybe on the wards, I come from a mental health trust, and it was suggested that we actually go onto the wards and put a suggestion box for staff. So I'm going to pinch, I'm going to seal it and just see what they would like in terms of IPC moving forward. So that was really good.
Fantastic.
Really good. Yeah.
Great. You had good discussions in your group.
Yeah, really good. We didn't want it to stop.
Oh really? Oh really?
Yeah, it was really good. Like, oh, we're going to be thrown out.
Oh, shame. What, anyone else in the group want to share or build on what Nicola said? Things you were quite vocal.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Go, Tracy. Go for it. Brilliant. Good for you.
So yeah, I just think, you know, it's been a really fantastic to do this, and in my trust, because I'm mental health as well, so we're quite a big, large trust for mental health and community staff, and I work in IPC. So I've found that the same as Nicola, it's like you can go onto the ward sometimes and, you know, you're an associate practitioner and nobody wants to listen to you, and everybody's having the same challenges of the nails and watches and jewelry and not complying to uniform policy and all of those sorts of issues. But actually it makes you feel a bit better because it's not just you, it's everyone else. It's not everyone else is having the same battles. So I think it's given us a lot more confidence to go on and to make sure that, you know, and we were saying that, you know, at the beginning of COVID, everyone wanted to be friends with anyone that was in IPC. And now we're everybody's enemy again. And it's just making that, you know, of getting people to understand that we're there to support them. And, you know, we're not the police. We're not there to go and police everything they do. We just want to support everyone and to be able to give them that support. And I've actually mentioned to lots of matrons this fabulous course, and they're going to start looking out for when it comes out again, so that they can get staff pushed through. And, you know, I've even taken it to our mandatory training team and saying that this is fabulous. You know, I think it's something that we should be promoting across the whole of our trust to try and get staff on.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. And that might attribute to, we were just talking about the numbers, the next cohort's out front, but we've already had 200 applications. So I think that's, you've obviously helped Tracy with that. So thank you. And it's only been out for a week or so, a couple of weeks, I think. So yeah, really advertised on social media. Yesterday, I think it went out, didn't it, Dave? So that's 200, is quite impressive. Great. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
And I think, Marius, I know you would pop something in the chat earlier about how the course was tremendous.
Yes.
Are you happy to kind of share or build on that a bit further?
Yes, I have to admit that I'm very happy and fortunate by finish this course. as I mentioned in our chat, a group, that it gives me a lot of tools which I will take on board, and also not theoretically, also practically. So I'm very, very fortunate by having this course. I'm very happy. Just to have a positive impact on other people's, and also to show what we learned on this course to make a difference. So very happy with the co-consulting, with all the modules.
That's amazing. Thank you. It's great to hear. And whereabouts do you work, Marius? What sector do you work within? Are you within a acute trust or care home? Or
no, I'm working in a care home. My background is a social worker, and I'm looking forward.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm just writing down little quotes. When you give me little nuggets, I write them down. So that's fine. Thank you
care
so
home
much.
in North Finchley, London.
London. Well, thank you. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. We've got a chat from Elaine tapped to go. I was going to just see the comments in the chat. Does anyone else feel confident to share or feedback? I know Natalie shared some real insights when we caught up in our feedback session a couple of weeks ago with Rob and I. This is one of our dental nurses. So it's really interesting. We've got a real cross section from across all areas, which is absolutely wonderful. Care homes, dental, mental health, not just the acute trust like you think. So it's wonderful. Primary care, Pamela as well. What a crossover. Anybody else feeling confident to share? I might go to our group next. Yeah, happy to. Or Luann, are you happy to share? Sorry, I missed. Did I miss a cue there?
Yeah, go on then. Sorry. First of all, I'm sorry, I've got a really sore throat from the constant coughing I've got at the moment.
Oh, bless you.
But no, the course was absolutely amazing. I loved every single step of it. It's given me so much confidence, and I feel like I've learned so much about myself, that I do know it, and I just need to believe in myself just that little bit more, that it is there. That knowledge is inside my head, and I just need to have that confidence in myself to be able to inform everybody of what the IPC is and any updates, and just be armed with info or data that can sort of kind of like nip it in the butt before anybody else starts sort of saying, oh, well, that's not what I read. Well, actually, if I've already got it in my hand, they tend to be a little bit more forthcoming with it, and to go with the idea of changes that need to be put in place. So yeah, I've loved every minute of it, and my IPC have already been in touch with me, and they want me to do a little video for the next Train the Trainer course in works for my feedback from the course, to hopefully empower other people to do it. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
Oh, Luann, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And what an amazing big thing that picked up for me is that you've got the evidence to challenge. That's incredible. So your best practice to go and challenge, and that's such great feedback. I remember someone years ago said to me, it always stayed in my head. He said, always present an overwhelming case of evidence to argue your cause, and no one will argue back with you. So you're obviously flying that flag. That's fantastic.
Yeah. If I've got the evidence, they are so more like I say, forthcoming with going forward with all the changes and everything. Before, if I was trying to get my point across, it just goes up and over like tumbleweeds. But yeah, definitely. But evidence goes a long way with my lot.
That is absolutely wonderful to hear, and testament to Liz and Sue's module, isn't it? Sue's module, it's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I've loved every minute of it. Really, really have.
Thanks, Luann. Great to hear that you're championing the programme as well. I think Dave will be inundated with applications for the sound of things. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to be. Great. Well, thank you. I know I've pulled on a few of you, so thank you for being bold and speaking up. That's really great to hear. I was just going to call on Liz or Sue or Dave, if there's any reflections. We had a really nice discussion in our group when we had a group as well to discuss. Is there anything you wanted to share, or I'm happy to do it from our group if no one wants to come forward? Liz, are you happy to?
I was just going to comment. I think for me, it's really heartwarming, because as an IPC practitioner, this is what you aim to do, is to improve patient safety, but also improve the experience, not just for patients, but for healthcare workers. So this is just incredibly heartwarming. It's really lovely to see how empowering it has been, because we weren't sure, you know, certainly when I wrote the first 4 sessions, it was difficult sometimes to know exactly what people needed. So it's just really encouraging to hear all the positive feedback and kind of a real kind of maternal sense of proudness almost of the group that have completed it. So, you know, well done to each and every one of you, and go forth and conquer. And it's just great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Liz. Sue, anything you wanted to add?
I totally agree with Liz, and certainly for me, I think that, and I've always been a passionate believer in empowering other people to do it. I can remember many years ago when I started in IP, I developed a link nurse course, and then I developed a course for the healthcare assistants, as it was in those days. And some of my colleagues said, you know, you won't have anything left to do if they know it all. But actually, we've all got that job to do. We've all got to do it. And I think that, you know, it's so important. People like you as healthcare support workers in your role, and similarly, I would say cleaners and porters, they do so much work that is not appreciated, not valued. And something like this course, I think, hopefully helps, and I can't remember who it was, it said, I think it was Natalie, that, you know, you've developed as a person as well as in your work, and that's what we want, you know, as Liz said, you know, that's the purpose of us putting on some educational programs. It's to give you those skills to believe in yourself, to do well, but to feel proud yourself as well. So yeah, I'm delighted to see the growth that you all seem to have made, and I look forward to hearing more about you all.
Thanks, Sue. Thank you. I think what's really interesting, and a couple of you maybe heard as you came back, but we actually put our heads together and said, I think we're going to write a paper and look to get it published on the first cohort, so we can share the learnings really far and wide. So, and we think we have to do a bit of research. We think you might be our first healthcare support worker leadership program that's been delivered. So you are pioneers and blazers of trails in your own right. So keep that in your hearts and keep leading and keep challenging and being the wonderful IPC champions that you all are. It's as Liz said, just to go back, it's heartwarming, really heartwarming. And I feel very grateful to be part of the programme. So that brings us on to our next bit, is our graduation as such. It's a shame we're not all together to celebrate together, but we can do it. So I'm going to call everyone's names out. Unfortunately, not everyone's here, but we'll call out everyone's names, and it's recorded so people can come back and share their glory if they wish. So we'll share this with the cohort so they can listen. They weren't able to make it. I think a few people on holiday, weren't they, today? So we're just going to run through the names. So we've taken this as hot off the press as of last night. These are all the individuals that have finished. So there's Adrian, and we'll do a big cheer at the end for everybody, if that's okay. So Adrian Walker, Alison Kitchen-Jarvis, Angela Coates, Anne Watts, Duncan Johnson, Elaine Alcock, Elisa Matthews, Emma Harrison, Haibing Wang, Hazel Douglas, Helen Castanera, I hope I've said that correctly, Isabella Swawinska, Josephina Belkova, Jamisha Hodge, Jenny Miller, Joanne Arthurs, Joanna Stevenson, I know you're definitely on the call, Karen Rankin, Catherine King, Kennedy Gallen, Kahida Karoma, Kay Harvey, Kaswida Kongsuab, Atlanta Jade Dowd Mackenzie, Samantha Leach, Luann Freeman, Marius, definitely with us, Marius, Alexander Valduca, I hope I've said your name correctly. Well done, you. Michelle Watkins, Nadine Jenkins, Natalie Bingham, I know you're definitely with us, Natalie, Nicola Howe, Nicola Walker, Nicole Powell, Pamela Feehan, well done, Pam, you're on the call. Hazel Halasco, I know you're with us, Sarah Ninette, Shanti Daru, Stephanie Barnes, Susan Bell, Sharon Wiltshire, Tina Fenwick, Tracy Waterman, and Victoria Greenall. Well done to each and every one of you. And those that aren't with us and listening onto recording, very, very well done. And we'll give everyone a big cheer. So if you take yourselves off mute, and we'll give everyone a big cheer. That would be great. Well done. Really, really well. You've now graduated.
Congratulations.
Well done, everybody. Well done. You should be really, really, really proud of yourselves. Certainly my heart feels like it's bursting currently. So you're now part of the FNF family. and that brings some unique benefits that we'll share with you. So you're part of an incredible network, and I think we spoke about being part of a network at the beginning of the programme, that it's actually you connecting one another and the power of shared best practice and shared learning, but also that support you can give each other and confidence to challenge. And you're now part of our F&F family, so you've got access to our monthly newsletters, so we'll put you on our mailing list. And there's unique opportunities on our mailing list. We often get quite exciting opportunities, even sometimes free tickets for the ballet and things like that, so keep your eyes peeled that you'd have access to. Not always, we had that earlier in the year, but there are other opportunities, so please, and other learning opportunities as well, so keep your eyes peeled. You'll be part of very much our online community, which we have so much to offer, and also sharing that best practice. I would urge you all to keep in contact with each other as well. It's lovely to see the emails popping in the chat box. Social media, follow us on social media. I'll be honest, I've only recently been a Twitter, joined Twitter. I've always been on LinkedIn, but if you follow on Twitter, there's you learn so much, and there's great ways to connect with like-minded individuals, share best practice, follow Ruth May and the team, follow Dave and Liz and Sue, who are always sharing wonderful advances in their areas as well. And are welcome to follow me and the rest of the F&F team, and follow Florence Nightingale, because there's always opportunities on there too. We would love, if you're feeling brave, this renewed confidence in yourselves, we'd love to publish, if you wanted to share your reflections in a blog, or be one of our star alumni. We'd love to have any reflections. Drop me a note or the Academy email address, and we can publish that for you and get one of our comms team to connect, and we can write up a blog for you. And also just share how you're getting on, keep in touch if you've been promoted, or if you're part of, if you've gone into bigger things, or you just want to tell us about what you're up to, that we get any projects. And we also have a fantastic webinar program that you'll have access to. We tend to do at least 2 a month with lots of wonderful guest speakers from around the globe now, so we're extending it, so we now have a global health series as well, so you've got access to those as well. So we'll pop you on a mailing list so you can access all of those. So well done and welcome to Team Florence. I was a scholar about 6 years ago, and I never really fully appreciated the power of the network. And Florence Nightingale Foundation does open doors. It's lots of like-minded individuals who challenge practice, who want the best for their patients, the greater good, and want to support and help each other. So I'd encourage you to do the same. That's kind of the ethos of the foundation, is we support one another, we look over our shoulder and we pull others forward. And it's so important, isn't it, to share that? And it seems to be there's this magic sparkle that we can share far and wide. So please do stay in touch, and we'd love to support and support your development even further in the future too. And this is just the beginning of your wonderful, wonderful journey. I think next slide, if that's okay, a little bit ahead of time. So big plea from us all. I know we've done a wonderful feedback session, but we'd love you to complete the course evaluation. Now there is a hook. You won't get your CPD certificate until you've completed the evaluation. So I hope that's okay. So if you've got your phones with you now, I don't know if you want to take a picture of the QR code, which you can use, or obviously we'll share the slides with you as well, so you can click the link. But please do fill the evaluation out. It really helps us to develop and ensure that the course is as good as it can be for all of you, and make sure that you're supported and future cohorts are supported too. So thank you so much for taking the time to complete the evaluation. I think Natalie's got a hand up. Hi, Natalie.
Hello, can I just say the CPD, when I done the evaluation,
yeah,
the certificate didn't have my GDC number on it.
Yeah,
and
for
it
GDC,
won't
it's
be
interesting. I did feedback
valid
actually,
then.
Yeah, for GDC you don't necessarily need, you just can submit, because I used to manage dental nurses in a different role, and you don't necessarily need that on there. You just, yeah, so if you submit it to the GDC, they'll accept it. Let me know, come back and drop me an email if not. Yeah, in a different role a few years ago.
Also, how many hours was the course? I've forgotten.
It should be on the certificate. I think overall it was, so it's depending on, I think we allocated 35, Rob, is that right?
Yep, 35.
Good, I did remember correctly. 35 hours.
35, okay.
That's quite good. A lot towards
your
needs. Perfect, and thank you. So I'm glad it's helpful.
Yeah.
I love a certificate. It's always good to have it in your portfolio, isn't it? It's great to have it.
Yeah, me too.
Great stuff. So, and Natalie, you're flying the flag. You encourage your other cohort to complete. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So beneficial for us.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, well, we're finishing a little bit earlier. I think that a lot of people have to get back to their work and other commitments. But I wanted to leave you with one final kind of message, really, is And it's Florence Nightingale, as you know, is the founder of our charity. Her family set up the charity back in 1929 to continue her great work. And Florence Nightingale, I think I started the programme with telling you that Florence Nightingale was a pioneer, a trailblazer, a champion for IPC, but like each and every one of you. And you are continuing her great work, the great work of, that she did back in the 1800s. She was a researcher, she was a champion of evidence-based practice. All of these attributes sit with all of you, and you should be really, really proud you're part of that F&F family. But we can't sit on our laurels, as healthcare workers, healthcare professionals, we all have to keep learning and developing and growing. So let's never consider ourselves finished healthcare support workers. You must be learning all of your lives. So keep learning, keep absorbing all that wonderful knowledge and expertise and sharing it, keep challenging, keep blazing a trail, and keep pioneering. You're all absolutely amazing. You should be really, really proud of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm just going to unshare the screen and just have any final comments from Dave, Liz, Rob as well. If you wanted to add any final comments before we close today.
I was just going to say, well done to everybody from a technical perspective, because I know a lot of people will not have done much online learning at all. And those of you that have done, maybe it's been a while. So I was really impressed with how well people managed with the tech stuff. So yeah, I'm well done on that from that perspective. And thank you again for all the comments.
Thanks, Rob. Liz, anything you wanted to add? Any final comments?
I don't think so. I think I've said everything. I'm just enormously proud of everyone, and well done, and enjoy. And I think always here can put my email address in the contacts. Already had some contact with another person who's asking some questions, so more than happy to connect with anybody if anybody needs a buddy or anything to chat to.
Great, thanks, Liz. Sue, anything you'd like to add?
No, same as Liz, really. I can't say enough how great it is to see so many people passionate about IPC. I used to think I was a nerd and it was just me, but there's lots of you, and it's great that we're all together working for our patients on this. So well done, everybody, and thank you for your hard work and commitment in doing the programme, but also going away and carrying on the work on the front line. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks so much. And Dave?
And just echo my colleagues and a massive well done to all of you for completing this. It's not been an easy task with everything else that's been going on in the world of IPC, and thank you all for the positive feedback that we've had so far. It really helps us to make sure that this program is working for the future and develop the future IPC workforce. So yeah, and likewise, I'll pop my email in the chat for those of you if you've got any bits that you want to keep in touch. We've also got a contact list for the IPC program that the national team's doing, where if you want to be involved, you can complete a short form, give us our details, and we can include you in any future activities, engagement events that we're doing, and sort of carry on that enthusiasm that you're all showing. So just again, massive congratulations to you all. Well done, and thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning from your busy schedules. Another well done. Enjoy your weekend and the rest of your day, and keep flying that IPC flag. Thank you all. Take care.